I wonder if it depends on like who logs in first, Natalie. Like why that happened.
Yeah, I think it gives you an option, like once you sign in and it says somebody's already signed in as you, it tells you like if you want to sign in as somebody else or just again.
I'm so glad it does that. It lets us do this because then I'd be like, oh, we all have to have paid accounts again.
Okay, we are live. Hello.
Lisa, your eyeliner's on fire.
Thank you. I had to add some flair before I went on.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Sometimes it pops up in the video. Okay. Okay, we are currently live. Did you want to wait 1 more minute or did you want to go ahead and get started?
We can get started. There's a few people that I'm texting right now that I know signed up, and I'm just like reminding them.
Cool. Good idea. Yeah. Okay, yes.
I need it. I know they need it, so.
We're starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and introduce you. Hi, thank you everyone for joining us today. This is a healing workshop in the Chai Initiative, Creative Healing Arts Initiative, and our artist today is Lisa. Hi, Lisa. I know you're texting right now, but whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me just send out one more little reminder message, and then I'll introduce everything. Okay. My name is Lisa Diana. And my workshop is on spoken word. And I wanted to like start off with a little introduction about how I got into it. So I think I was exposed to this medium at 14, 15 through my current mentor, Tama Brisbane. She is the poet laureate of Stockton, and she has a nonprofit organization called With Our Words. Hey. And basically I was just a kid. I think I was in 8th grade or 9th grade, and she came to our school and she shared a poem that she had written, and my jaw dropped because like I always thought poetry was like some Edgar Allan Poe, like some rhymey stuff, some dark like, or like some like old speak, and I didn't realize that you could just like, you know, yell into a microphone and your feelings, and that was poetry. And it helped me and a lot of other people at that time and currently express themselves and let some stuff out. And I currently see spoken word as shadow work. Like that's how I use it. A lot of my poems are about the not so savory parts of life. It's kind of it's like my music too. Like it's just hard for me to write happy stuff because like when I'm
Lisa, your sound just cut out. Lisa?
control over the situation, whereas before I couldn't, you know? But yeah, that's why I love it. That's why I thought it was really important, because this is all about like healing arts, and this has been the most healing form of art that I have ever pursued. Not that others are less healing, but like as far as me, it takes the cake. But yeah, I wanted to say my pronouns are they, them. My name is, I already said my name, Lisa Diana. And today we're going to go around and everyone can introduce themselves and their pronouns and any preferred names that they want to use. And also your experience with creative writing or poetry, if any, and if not, if you don't have experience, what made you want to sign up. And also, after everyone introduces themselves, we can agree on a safe word in case anything becomes too heavy. Maybe we can have Poppy, like, if it gets too heavy, you could put the word in the chat. You don't have to say it. You could put the word in the chat when someone's sharing, and you can be removed for the rest of that poem and then be brought back in afterwards. You could just be in the waiting room. That way you don't have to like expose yourself to anything harmful. I want it to be safe for everyone, because that's the most important part about this kind of stuff. Anyways, and also use trigger warnings or content warnings ahead of time, just so people know. Okay, I got that out. Anyone else want to introduce themselves? Go next.
I'll go next. My name is Poppy, and I didn't sign up. I'm the host today, but I love writing because it allows me to really express what I'm thinking in that moment, and it also allows me to be really creative in regards to creating things with my art. I like to kind of create artwork and then write like stories behind it as well, so I combine those two. It's very healing for me.
I'll go
I'll
next.
go. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm also a chai artist. And my pronouns are she, her, they, them. And I'm here with my unicorn teacup. So just really excited for this workshop because that's how I actually met Lisa. Was this like spontaneous sort of poetry thing at Hatch with Amal and Lisa's partner and Lisa, and I was like so ecstatic that it really invigorated something in my life as a creative. And I got on stage and I was like vibing and I was like saying things that I was really proud of myself afterwards because it resonated really deeply. To be able to just let it come out freely, that was really empowering. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Coda. My pronouns are she, they. I'm really excited for this workshop too. I don't do poetry at all. I'm not great at writing, unless it's essays, but I am like a songwriter. And music has been a big part of my life since I was around like 15. I've like released an album almost every year since 2015 or 2016, I don't know. And I'm on the same page with Lisa where everything I write is normally like extremely sad, but that's just like the way like there isn't really a place in normal life to just talk about sad things. Like you can, but like just to normalize it, you don't just have conversations with somebody like, hey, I was thinking the other day that like like everything sucks and I hate being alive. You don't just like have a conversation like that. But if you can put it into something else, like into your art or into a song, it's like easier to be like, oh, I vibe with that, like for other people, for it to be like more well received. So yeah, I do like to like write a little bit, so I'm excited to revisit that because it's been a while with this workshop.
Okay, that was awesome. Ezra and favor. I love your background, by the way. Like the swaying palm tree. I love it. Whoever wants to go next.
I will go. My name is Theodore Ashawo. Um, I don't really like writing that much, but I do write poetry. I started like this year. I didn't know I'm good at it, but when I write poetry, I feel like I'm a different person. I wrote the first poetry I wrote was about my childhood being bullied, and then I wrote some funny stuff. And I joined this website called allpoetry.com. It's really good, and yeah, they do like contest competition to see who write the best poetry ever.
That's awesome. Like that's so cool that you like found a way to do something that you don't necessarily like and turn it into something that you enjoy. It's really cool.
Hi, I'm Ezra. My pronouns are she, her, and I wanted to do the workshop because I really want to improve or just get better at expressing my things in like an artistic type of way, because I feel like it's easy to write notes but not actual thoughts through words, and I think that's really important and healing, and yeah.
Thank you guys. I'm so excited, especially to hear everyone's backgrounds and stuff. And I feel like everyone is super respectful, and so that makes me feel more eager to, continue this in like a safe and respectful manner. So I want to share a video. This is actually the first video that I was ever exposed to, like when I met my mentor. This is like the one that made me like know I wanted to do this. And they're actually two young men from Stockton, and this poem slaps. I don't know any other way to say it. So I'm gonna keep myself unmuted so you could hear it. And if everyone else can keep themselves muted just so that there's no extra noise. All right, I'm so excited.
Well, 2 cups of water in the saucepan. Add noodles and cook 3 minutes. Stir occasionally. Turn off heat, drain excess water. Add not to the seasoning package. Serve immediately for best results. And that's how you make top ramen. Chop up some hot dogs and throw it in the pot, cause that's my shit. Fuck preheating the stove when you can microwave it in a bowl, cause that's my shit. You pack a bottle of hot sauce to spice it up a bit, cause that's my shit. No heat integrations either when you can crunch it in a bag, cause that's a motherfucking shit. Eat top ramen 3 times a day, every day, 7 days a week. Mom's has no money, and that's all we can afford to eat. Ain't that some shit? In our house, Tom Ramos was our only father figure. The only person putting food on our table. While Moms was working to keep the lights on, and since the money was as absent as Dad was, there was no hope left. The last ounces of essence she had left was crushed into a powder and sealed in a tinfoil package. So when you pour it in the mix, it shows the true meaning of soul food. Injured by budget cuts so deep that Mom would stock our cabinets with 24 packs of orange and red first aid survival kits. For moms around us, she is strong like ramen straight out the package. But time when we see her reach her boiling point, she goes into her room and releases tears in a pot of her insecurities. So we never see her soft side, hoping that the tears you shed make the green in your pockets grow a little bit faster. If you just add water. Just like when the noodles would swell, like your face after you're done drain all the water out, the tears keep coming back. You're left with something so beautiful. How can a man be something so beautiful? It's the worst thing that could have happened to you. And our mailboxes, being constantly harassed by numerous monthly statements instead of child support checks. I know it's hard. Always feed us top ramen. Feeding us the chicken noodle soup of your soul. Any of you who've never sick are tired. We are sick and tired. Y'all watered down stories telling us everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, because it's not. I know all about your beef with the bill collectors, and I know that I'm only a shrimp compared to your problems, but you should never be too chicken. So tell us what's going on. So your sugar cone's only making my noodles taste nice. Mom raised us with the intention of us being raw men. So every night she prayed with a face full of tears and looked up to God and asked for either a man or that her stomachs never empties her bank accounts. She slaved her grave shifts every night just to pursue her zeros, staring into the night sky for a lighted insignia of her superhero. But moms never had a superhero. I never had a superhero. We never had a superhero. But when you're a house child growing up in a broken home, then Soup's our hero. And his name is our ramen. Almost a power pack entity who never stood for monosodium glutamate, but instead represented how mom stayed grinding. And although I long for cuisine dining to eat, my stomach growling somehow. She made it something great. And when the same flavors grew stale to my taste buds, me complaining was just the selfishness of my soul gratification. So this is our ode to you, presented in a bowl like needles in a compass, seasoned by encompassed by the struggles of us. So take this hot soup as homage. Thanks, Mom. My childhood was delicious.
Okay, so that was it. That poem still gives me goosebumps to this day. Like, no words. I'm gonna put a link in the chat in case anyone wants to visit it later on their own, because I know it's kind of to rely on my sound. It's probably like you probably missed some words. I don't know. So adding that in. And yeah, okay. So after I showed you that one, I wanted to talk about, like, today we're going to be focusing on writing about a past experience, which is why I'm really glad that Favor brought up, like, how you wrote about, like, how you were bullied in school. We're going to be, like, all separately, we're going to try to, like, think about a time where we encountered something difficult to process, and, like, I don't want to push anyone too far, like, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but I also do want to encourage to like channel that within yourself, because that's where the good stuff, like, that's where the soul comes in, like, that's where it takes over. So I was thinking we could take 5 minutes and everyone can brainstorm about, they could think about what they want to write about. Excuse me. And we can go from there. Does that sound good? All right, so I put the timer on. Yeah, just brainstorm some things that you think you might want to write about today. And you could type it or write it, it doesn't matter. I kind of like to type because my thoughts come so fast, and I could type faster than I can write.
Excuse me, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to be something like in the past, like way past? Could it be something that happened today in the past?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, like basically just draw from your experience. It doesn't have to be like a super long time ago. Okay, so go ahead if you need more time. I'm just gonna start talking about some stuff. So like when you thought about what you want to write about and you wrote it down and you have that in your head, I want you to think about like setting the scene. So this is going to be like the foundation to build the image. When you listen to someone share what they wrote, do you guys ever like picture it in your head, like you see what they're talking about? That's what I try to use when I write. And so I think about like if I'm in a house, I'm like, what's on the walls? What is there art on the walls? Is there chipped paint? What does it smell like? Does it smell like cigarettes? Does it smell like wet dog? Does it smell like pine needles? Um, I think about like the senses. Hi, Mom. Um, I think about the things that you don't like point out when you walk into a room, but the things that you notice. You're taking in everything. So yeah, try to build the image in your head. Write it down. It doesn't have to be a poem yet. It could be just a list of things that you smell, things that you see, things that you can touch, taste, hear. Um, and then, the next thing from that would be emotions. How do you feel? How did that make you feel? A lot of the time, I don't know how I'm feeling in the moment. I only know by the time I'm done writing how I felt. Or in hindsight, like I'll revisit something and then I realize how I was feeling. So that's like kind of step 2. Trying to make this formulaic, but also like it's not a formulaic kind of thing, but it is a workshop, so I'm trying to offer, tips, pointers. Oh yeah, so like when you're identifying those memories or those experiences, we often like remember them for like a certain reason. So you'll put like the time that I was left at school. No one came to pick me up. I was left at school, no one came to pick me up, and I felt alone. Felt like no one was caring about me. Felt unimportant. Like that's not a poem yet, but it's getting there, and it's gonna set the tone for like the rest of the piece. And when everyone feels comfortable, I would like to share a piece that I wrote for this workshop. I will screen share and read it at the same time, but you guys let me know when it's okay to do that. All right, I added some little notes in the chat in case anyone like forgets. You could just reference it. All right, I'm gonna share something I wrote. This is called Little Yellow House. It's about where I grew up. It was cold, wet, a wooden bench beneath an olive tree. Fallen fruit sat beneath my feet. I used to step on them. I liked to feel them beneath my feet. I felt powerful. Sometimes it was slippery and I would fall, grease stains and scabbed knees. Maybe I took out my aggression on the poor olive pits, smearing their stink into the ground just to exercise some control. The summer would turn the oil rancid and make the soil reek. My boots would slide as I climbed onto the bus every morning. I sat on our little wooden bench and stared down towards home. About 100 meters away stood our little yellow house. Down our long gravel driveway of rocks and glass and the occasional needle, my home seemed so far away, nestled to the right, just in sight but out of reach. I grew up in that yellow house of chaos and dysfunction, a one-bedroom duplex apartment, 4733 East Fremont Street, where I watched Pokemon and ate SpaghettiOs, where I watched my mom shrink herself time and time again, where I would learn how to be brave every time my stepdad grew angry. I was a ghost of a child. He always said, kids should be seen, not heard. So I stayed quiet. My room was the only room. Their bed sat in the living room. They would tell me, get back in the box, aka go back to your room. I knew this is when they were going to do things that a young child should not see. So there I grew up, in my 4 paper-thin walls. It blocked me from sight, but I heard everything. Every fight, every time they'd make up, every torch turn on and off, every slap, every sob, every cough, every forced apology. I could hear the shrieking turn into shrinking. My mother had a way of making herself small. I grew up to the song of my mother's tears. I'd cry alongside her from the comfort of my bed, a symphony of sirens wailing in the distance when the fights got too bad and the neighbors intervened. Despite what happened in our little yellow house, I still sat at that bench every morning, 7:30 a.m. sharp, to catch the yellow bus for school. I'd climb up the narrow metal steps. Miss Gloria would greet me with a "Buenos dias, mija." Our bus drivers had a habit of becoming like a second mother, but Miss Gloria was more like the fun auntie. And whatever kind of night I had before, whether I stayed up all night crying, hoping my mom was okay, or heavy snores in a dreamless state, I would smile my big toothy grin, and everything else would melt away. I remember thinking that growing up took forever, and now I can't remember the last time that I felt young. The last time I told myself, it's okay, you're growing. We have a habit of expecting our growth to be overnight, but the growing is a process. One day I'll blink and be an old woman wondering where the time went, wishing I had been more gentle with myself, just like right now. I sit from the comfort of my part-time job wondering what my future looks like, what it will feel like, knowing how uncomfortable the journey will be to comfort and stability. I've made it this far. The little yellow house I grew up in is now a construction site. Cement trucks sit where my old bedroom used to be, but those olive trees still stand, and it still stinks in the summer, and I still have this big toothy smile, and my mom is trying her best to take up space. So am I. That was a poem. Thank you guys for listening. That is it's a recent one that I wrote, and it's a poem that I've always wanted to write. Like I always felt like I need to write about that. And that's what I was talking about. Like that's what poetry allows you to do. Like Coda said, like you can't just like always talk about like how much life sucks in daily conversation, you know? But you can talk about it in poetry and no one's gonna bat an eye, you know? Does anyone want to share anything that they've already written or anything that they want to write about? Throw some ideas. Let's get a conversation going if that's okay.
I will read my old one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It's called Why Me? Why is everyone always picking on me? Is it because I am Black or because I am different from everyone else? Why me? I didn't choose to be like this. God brought me here for a reason. Why me? Everyone bullied me when I didn't do anything wrong. You called me so many names like monkey, Medusa, African breed scratcher, and ugly. It really hurts. Don't you care about my feelings? That I am broken? Don't you understand how to treat someone as you want to be treated? Would you like to be bullied like me? Do you pick on me because I know where I came from and you didn't know, or because you are racist? I am human just like everyone in this earth. I bleed like just like everyone in this world. I have feelings just like everyone in this earth. I just want to make friends like everyone, but it's hard. Why me?
Thank you for sharing. That was really, really good. Really, I felt it. And I just want to say, like, fuck all those people that made you feel that way real quick. Because, yeah, they're not. I just want to, sorry. But I really appreciate you sharing that experience. Does anyone else want to share anything?
I want to share the lyrics to a song that I wrote.
Nice.
So it doesn't read well because it's a song and not a poem, but this is from 2017 when I was 17, 18. So this is a song that I wrote about being in like high school and just really like realizing that I didn't want to follow like the path that like people were pushing on me. I was an IB in high school, and that was pretty like tough because of how much pressure there is for you to like pursue like STEM normally. And so I'll just read it. It's called Sunday. Sunday morning, and I taste metal in my mouth. Don't remember how I ever got here. I remember I was really small then, but it still went through my head. How did I get here? When did I wake up one day? Oh, sorry. Some of the sentences don't make sense. When did I wake up one day and I was living? I guess one day I woke up, I was living. I guess that's just how I came into the world. I don't think that I was ever born. Waking up one morning and I knew that I want to get myself into the world. I don't want to die and never have my name shine in bright lights. Sometimes I sit around and think right about now, where am I going and what will I do when I'm dead? I sat in the cafe and I talked to my mom. I thought that she was going to cry because I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to die in a couple of years, man. I won't get that far, and I think she knows it too. It sounds better in the song, but that was just written about like me and my mom would have like hard conversations about like what are you doing with your life, like what are you going to do in the future, and that was during when I was like suicidal. So it was like, I don't know, mom, I just want to like die. So yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. Why are you asking me about the future when I don't see myself in it? First off, that was fire. It did make sense, and I felt like it did flow. And songs are poetry, dude. I love everything you write, by the way. um, does anyone else want to share anything? Alicia, maybe?
Okay, since you asked. Give me one sec to pull it up. So I did want to say, I don't want to like censor anybody when we post this on YouTube. I'll put a little disclaimer in it. A lot of our videos are for kids in the settings, but I think it's fair to be our most authentic selves with our language choices. And as long as we just put that in writing, I'm just sharing, like, I feel like it's okay. And I cuss too, and I love it because it's so raw and human, and we have to be and not be so worried about perception. But for our YouTube videos being recorded and uploaded, I'll just make that note there. And I won't be editing our video. I'm just uploading it raw. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah. And so this poem, okay, so it's like a running theme, I guess, right now in my personal life. But I always imagine like a bird in a cage to reflect like where I was at with my life. And it's weird because I'm recognizing that how I am in a relationship kind of had too much of a hold on how I perceived my life was going. So if I was single, I'm like not doing right. If I was in a good relationship, like I'm doing okay. And so it's a weird disconnect to finally recognize that. And so this poem, it kind of brings that into light. Why I do that. So I'll start. You were not the bird in the cage. You were both birds. You could meet me when the cage fades, an invitation to grow and learn together. Anything more is dangerous. And okay, so that's only one part of the poem because it's a little long. But I just wanted to share that most recently, having that theme kind of changed. Now it's like, oh, I'm the bird in the tree. And I don't necessarily believe in cages anymore. Because I used to flip flop from like I'm the bird in the cage, the other person's outside coaxing me to come out, and the door's open and I'm not flying out. I'm like, what's my problem? I'm free, but I just don't want to take the exit. And then the other aspect was like, well, maybe I'm the bird outside coaxing the other person, you know, my lover, to like be free and realize they're not in a locked cage. And so as all the different versions I was playing in my mind, I'm like, this is it's just such an interesting visual image that I use. And so I had been exploring that in writing. So I hope you like that little snippet of it.
Real quick, I'm gonna put in the chat a song I think you might connect to. It's called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Nicotine. And I love that metaphor as well. Like, definitely. Yeah, and I thank you for mentioning like the content and how you'll put that on YouTube, because I remember like when I was trying to sign up to do this workshop with you guys, I put like this is not for kids, like maybe older teenagers, but like not children, because yeah. Talking about some difficult stuff.
I also put on our live feed, I put disclaimer, this live is PG-13. We are being authentic in this space.
Yeah, that's perfect. Does anyone else want to share? It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be a poem. It could just be thoughts. What you want to write about. Hey.
I was late, so I feel kind of, is that okay to still come and take up some space a little bit? I just went through my phone to see what I had. What everyone shared was very beautiful. And to Alicia, what's your name? Alicia or Alicia? What do you want to be called?
Alicia.
Alicia, your piece resonated a lot, especially when you elaborated a little bit on just the imagery with the cage bird and how when the door is open, you're completely free. I'm in that stage right now of realizing, and it's like a constant realization, right, that I've had over and over again. But I guess now I'm tired of myself, essentially, because of course we all have traumas and we all have things that make us, I guess, create a defense mechanism, right? And I'd realized, like, bitch, initially it was supposed to be, you know, just like a nice maybe picket fence, but I've gone up and erected a picket fence with an electric fence over that that's 20 feet tall and then put up some cement, you know what I mean? And it's like not realizing that cement's going to dry over time. I've almost made it to where I can't get out and no one else can either. But I realized I left a little chimney at the top of the cement foundation that I built. And it's like the light that's been coming in. It feels really good. And it makes me remember that at one time I was outside. And if anything, one time I was outside and I was free. And I felt what love was like on my skin before I could feel like what it was in my heart. Like I've never been like in a place romantically, like to where I was even able to have a relationship with like a partner that made me feel what you were saying, Alicia, about my self-worth, whether I'm partnered or not, but my self-worth, just figuring that out in general and allowing myself to be free again, right? So I'm like sneaking out of that chimney spot right now, but it's almost like I'm afraid to come all the way out, so I'm just peeking my head up, you know what I mean? But I don't even want to share anything anymore because that's basically, it just brought out so much what you were speaking of. That's the piece right there. Just allowing myself to get back out, you know? Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you guys for making that space.
Oh yeah. That's like what this is. Like, I was contemplating like, how am I supposed to run this workshop? I kind of just want it to be like a safe space. Like I want people to just kind of like an open mic. You could say what you want if you want to say anything, and if you don't, just I hope you feel inspired when you leave. And you know, it's not like something like I feel like I can teach. I feel like it's just something that I can show you how I do it. Does anyone else want to share before I show another video?
Could I go ahead and show a second song that I wrote?
Please.
Or just read it out?
Yes.
This one, before I start though, I wanted to say that what everybody has said so far is really like, I think it's really cool that you guys are talking about that and like being so open about like talking about what you feel and what you've been through. Alicia and who just spoke? Oops. Anovia. Thank you for talking about that. That was really cool to hear. I like how we all have like different things that we're talking about too. This song that I wrote is about when I was in high school. I wrote a lot of like angsty stuff. This was about I used to wear a lot of weird stuff and like express myself through my clothes and makeup and be weird. And some people thought I was cool. Some people didn't think I was cool, but some people thought I was cool, and like I thought that was nice, but at the same time it felt like they didn't really understand me. They just liked me for like how I looked on the outside, but they didn't really know me. So the lyrics are, and I'll try to like read it in a better flow. I don't read things great. So it goes, it's called Trophy. It's from 2018 or 2017, the same album. You think you're so cute, how fun. I really want to be someone like you. Show me what to do. I don't know, and I don't care. Stop looking at me. I'm not your God. I'm not going anywhere. Listen to me. I'm begging you, please, please listen just for once. I'm not just a joke. I promise I once was someone. I pay a lot of money to hear I don't try hard enough, but I can't cry, can't even think, can't even love. I don't care how much money it brings. I don't care if you buy the whole damn thing. I don't care how much money is in my hand. No matter what I say, you still won't understand. And so that was the whole song. That's it. Thank you.
I definitely relate to feeling like I also try to express myself like outwardly, like with my presentation. Like I have a whole earring collection, like, and I express myself through my freaking earrings. And like, but I try so hard with that. And then sometimes I get this like imposter syndrome because I'm like, okay, I feel euphoric like with how I look, but still I feel like no one understands me and like no one cares to, and that feels like even worse because it's like one thing if people are trying to get you and they still don't get it, but it's like one thing and it feels like people don't even want to try to get you because they feel like they got it all, like everything that they need to know. And I feel that hard. I feel it heavy.
Hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Natalie, right in the beginning of your song, I was like, yeah, man, I used to love like just doing what I wanted. My mom used to call me a rag lady. I would wear the randomest outfits together, like, but I would still kind of color coordinate. And in the chat, I threw a picture of my mohawk. It didn't last long because my hair was super big, but yeah, my hair as self-expression was always changing, always dynamic, and like I don't know, throughout a week in high school, I'd be like punk, emo, crappy. Like you just throw out the labels, and I tried them all, and it was super fun to do that. But there was this dark part of it, like why am I trying so hard if it's not serving me? And so I had to grapple with that. Like, was it for others or was it for myself? And so now I'm like limiting my wardrobe. I'm just kind of focusing on things that are internal to my life. But I do really appreciate also that I've grown to like my body, and it's not like what I do to my body, but like really loving what God gave me and just being able to express it and not feel so defensive. Like I would attract too much attention sexually, and then I was like, no, I got to dress all frumpy, be all like unshowered because I don't want to have to push people away. And the things that you share, Lisa, about like loving yourself is like
Hey, Alicia. I don't know if you can hear me, just so you know. So when you come back, you might have to repeat some of the things that you just said.
Yeah, I only heard loving yourself, and then after that I didn't hear anything.
Just also like Lisa, I was doing some Instagram stalking, right? And you had a piece of, I think, your artwork or something that you had posted where it was like my body essentially isn't, is Alicia back? Isn't up for your, like, I'm not here to appeal to you. And I resonated with that a lot, which is especially why I wanted to be here and pulled over, because you don't get that very often where someone is able to put into words how you feel. And I
Yeah.
think with where I used to be heavier, you know what I mean? If that's how I want to identify with like my frame at the time, but I was like sitting pretty, you know, I was like 2 something. And I only lost weight like through trauma, you know what I mean? This wasn't intentional. It wasn't like something that was glorious. I wasn't looking to be noticed because of it. If anything, I didn't want to be noticed. I was not going through a good time. I couldn't fucking eat anything. I had to like swallow a piece of ham, you know what I mean, to get through the rest of the day. So when I did come out of that space of like, and it was able to look at myself, right, just having the open door or whatever, I still don't want other people to look at me. Does that make any sense?
Definitely.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Like I like the way I look, and I've learning to love it, you know, every day essentially. And like people have a right to appreciate you and like send love out to you, but I've just become very defensive when there is any type of attraction. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, no, like this, and it's not. You're not invited to enjoy it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a way to protect yourself in a way. Like, I think I'm the shit, but like, sorry, my neighborhood goes off sometimes. But like, yeah, like sometimes I'll just really be feeling myself, and then I'll put myself out there, and then I let the energy of whoever is, you know, being basically like a audience member to
The
me living
observer.
yeah, like it affects my energy, you know. I'll just be like second guessing everything, and it's just yeah, I feel it. I actually wanted to share this poem, if I could find it. Well, let's see. I'm gonna try to search for it. How do you search for stuff? I don't know. Oh, that sucks. Okay. All right. This is something that I recently wrote, and it's called Good Natured. It wasn't the one I like specifically wanted to share, but I did want to share it at some point in this workshop. Excuse me. I watched the sunrise today, alone in my own bubble of peace. I envisioned muggy cloud over concrete, bare feet on wet asphalt, naked knees, scabbed, so clumsy, unprepared for a rainy day. And now it feels as if I can weather any storm. I have stomped through blizzards naked. I have laughed in the midst of live tornadoes. I have caused enough earthquakes myself to know how to stay whole while the ground beneath me feels like it's splitting in half. I have watched my own chaos and suffered twice as hard, tenfold. I know I am not weatherproof, but rather resistant. I survive, I grow, I move on. It's not about becoming perfect or getting better. It's the story behind the scar, the almost too far. It's the yes, silent no. It's the hand clamped over mouth and the arms around waist. It's confused lust. It's fragile packing tape over bosom, over heart. It's betrayal. It's denial. It's the bad days and the good ones. It's the hollow nights when you remember how to cry, when you remember loss, when the darkness steals your sight and you are forced to deal with what's going on in your skull. I started shutting my eyes midday. I never really liked to take naps. I got used to blackout eclipses. You feel it in the scratched out poems, the ripped out pages of your sketchbook, The I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough over and over on repeat. The pictures torn from your walls after rejection. It's the calm before the storm of a mental breakdown, and after. It's the lightning and the thunder and the rain and hail and the I'm not appreciated, I don't deserve to be here, echoed claps through skin valleys. The forever ascending, rapid drop, deep breathing, stop. Hummingbird heartbeats, frogs in throats, stomach full of butterflies. So carnivorous we seem impassioned to gentle creatures. How destructive we can be. Animalistic tendencies, even when I see dark cloaks of smoke over sunny snow-capped mountain peaks, flames and tidal waves, when I feel vibrations ripple through me, I do not flinch anymore. Because I know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I feel like I can handle it. I got this. And
That slapped. Oh my God. My mouth is loud.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to share that one because I was talking about imagery earlier, and like I feel like that is like the cherry on top of anything you write. Like descriptive words, like the alliteration, you know, multiple S's and C's and like stuff like that. Like I don't know how to explain it like necessarily. I'm not a college professor, but like yeah, you know, vocabulary is important, and imagery, setting the tone. And that was about like me doubting myself for so long, and like I told you, like I experience imposter syndrome all the time, and always with things I love, like music or poetry or art or being a human being and thinking that I'm beautiful, and then like this voice in my head saying, but how could you be beautiful when these things exist? And it's like just this constant back and forth, and like I always want to argue with myself that like I'm not good enough, but like I can also argue with myself that I am. So yeah, it's about flipping the script. Oh yeah, anyone else want to share anything that they're writing about? I don't want to pressure you into writing. Like if anything, like I said, I want this to be just like a discourse and inspiration that you guys can pull from. If you guys don't like have a poem by the end of this workshop, I'm not tripping. Like I just want you guys to like get something from this, and like feel confident in your work, that like whatever you're feeling right now about, like if you feel like you don't know what you're doing or you don't know where to start, like just know that like everyone feels that way, and it's okay to feel that way. And it doesn't, the only expectations are your own, you know? No one else expects anything from you. Like this is all yours. It's yours to do with what you please. It's your story. I want to share another video if no one wants to share anything.
Wait, sorry, I wanted to check in. I don't know, my phone internet cut out. I'm not even sure how far I got into it, and when I realized like I was such in a zone, I don't know how long it was that I couldn't hear anybody. And you guys couldn't hear me. But it just felt really good to like find myself in a place of like self-love, because I was like reflecting on my Mohawk days and my, you know, my present like simple ponytail days, and just having that like positive script about my life. And so this atmosphere of support just helps me get to that place right now.
Yes. Self-actualize. I love that. I reflect a lot too about like you know, I had my emo phase, and then like I was also in IB Coda. I was at Franklin for 1 year, and then I went to Stockton Collegiate, and it was such a small, like from going to Franklin and then going to a small school.
What's IB?
It's like just really intense, rigorous school. Like it's like, AP, so it's like similar to that. But it's like an international, like it's held to an international standard, which makes it even like more pressure on the students. But like basically they train you the whole time you're in school to like test out and take your IB exams so that you can get your not only your high school diploma but your IB diploma. And like the school I went to like made you feel like you were a failure if you didn't get your IB diploma. Even if you graduated high school, they would just be like, so yeah, it was whack. Yes, you most definitely can share a poem. I will mute myself and it is all yours, Favor.
It's called Mirror, Mirror. When I see myself in the mirror, I would think, I will think to myself, is this really who I am? I see, or am I dreaming? My face doesn't look good, but this mirror is showing me that has so much acne in my face. This mirror is telling me that I must do something about it. Deep down, I am beautiful, both inside and outside. Mirror, mirror, I am so beautiful. That's all.
Thank you so much. I love how you write. It's so like from the heart. It's like no filter with how you're feeling, and I love that. I appreciate the rawness of it all. On a lighter note, I wanted to share this video because it's actually a friend of mine that I met through spoken word. Her name is Daisy Armstrong, and she's hilarious. She's a rapper and a poet, and she's just got bars. She's great. Like, but she wrote this poem, and it's basically how to write a slam poem, but it's hilarious. So I'm gonna screen share, and I hope that you guys enjoy it and we can get some laughter because we have been talking about some heavy stuff. Okay. And everyone can hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yep. Cool. It's called This Shit Looks Deep.
Who are we? What do we do? For who? Seattle, you all on that piece up on the stage, shout it, y'all. You took my heart like a thief in the night. Placed it in the iridescent colors of your soul, put it in a box, locked it with a key, and kept it. That's how you started. You got mine. You took my heart like a thief in the night. Placed it in the iridescent colors of your soul, put it in a box, locked it with a key, kept it. That's how you get one. I got it. Bubbles, describe your soul perfectly because your laugh has the radiance of a baked turkey. I know you understand me. If you talk this loudly, you're sure to get the whole crowd's attention. You whisper right after the contrast. Even if you're just describing your chores in your kitchen. Put your head down. That's dope. Take a moment to make the poem speak in person. Look back up to one, relate, eye contact. When you talk about your heart, you better point to it, clench your mouth, and make sure they understand 2 of the 3 words coming out of you. Your cheeks rub mine like a butt cheek on a walking human. Warm you. It had to be a summer day. I couldn't tell if the moisture was your sweat or your tears. New York accents make this shit sound ridiculous. Seem like the most important because the second you say fuck, you officially alarm the whole sorry that I cannot grasp geometry, but I took up so much space in the class of my method. If you start your poem in a letter, it's known to be taken seriously. And that shouldn't sincerely, because by the time it's over, they've forgotten how you started anyway. When you talk like this, if you put your hand like this, anything you say will officially become important no matter what you are saying. Remember! Contrast. If you cry on stage, you just assured yourself you will get no less than 9.2. If you say the word God, you better say it like you're reaching for it in the back of your throat. You took my heart like a thief. If you forget, you better step back and act like you're having a moment. Clowning. Just like this and just like this. Teacher, I'm sorry that my mind cannot grasp geometry, but I took up so much space in this class that I nothing this is now a repetitive tone. Look at yourself. Examine your skin. I don't know why, but this shit looks deep. And remember to always say your last 3 words.
Oh my god. That was everything. Oh, sorry. I will put the link in the chat so that you guys can revisit it later. I swear it's so hard to like get the audio and the quality of a slam poem like
I can
the
hear it
right
a
way.
little.
Yeah.
The bits that I could hear were funny. Yeah.
I love it. I think that it's like it's on point, like the satire, because honestly, like slam poetry on a competitive level is like, how do I get my points? How do I emote? I gotta emote. But personally, I didn't really like the competitive aspect because I feel like it made other people feel like theirs were less valuable, like their stories were less valuable than others. Which I think like sucks. But it's also cool to reward people for their hard work too and acknowledge that. Oh my bad. Okay, yeah. Put the link in there so you guys can watch on your own. All right, we have a few more minutes. I wanted to ask you guys, because this is like my dream job, teaching poetry, or like just like, well, I'm going to school to be a teacher, like so teaching in general, but poetry is like a passion. And I wanted to ask you guys for feedback on how I did and anything I can do in the future, anything you would like to see more of.
Well, I definitely wouldn't critique your art style and say like, oh, you could do better in this way, because it is so good. And actually, the way you manage your workshop space by facilitating your name, your pronouns, and just really it's your voice too. You have a very pleasant voice, and it is just so nice to hear. And then when you're playing the video right now, and you still had your audio on and I could hear you laughing, I'm like, yes, that was so good.
Thank you. Oh, that makes me happy. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much, so I think it was a good time.
The spaces definitely felt safe. So you did a great job. It's just like presenting a welcoming energy virtually. So good job just being yourself, your authentic self.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. For some reason, it was really hard to hear, but like I saw you nod and you said you agree. So thank you, Ezra. If you want to type it in the chat, you can always do that too. Yeah, I said that I agree with everyone.
So we can't hear you very well at all. You might have to type it in the chat or get really close to your microphone.
I don't know what it is. It's like a bzz, 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 bzz in the background. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I definitely want you to walk away like feeling more confident in your message. Because I feel like that's like the biggest thing that people struggle with, like from bringing what they write on paper to like reciting or memorizing and like performing their poetry, is finding your voice and like the cadence of how you read the words. That was like the biggest thing I struggled with, and I still struggle with like my breathing and pauses and making sure that I'm not reading too fast so that people can understand me.
Lisa, you cut out again. Lisa, your internet connection cut out, so you might have to.
Message gets lost.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Your internet cut out for like a few seconds there. You might have to repeat what you just said.
Oh, okay. So like I struggle with pronunciation, and I read really fast, and my breathing gets all irregular. So especially like when I go up in front of people to perform, that's like my biggest issue. With singing too, like I'm one of those people that like I won't pronounce all the words and like the vowels and consonants sometimes, and people be like, well, that sounded pretty, but like we don't know what you said. So that's like a big issue that I'm trying to work on. Because like that's the whole point of me performing and sharing my message, is so that other people can like hear what I have to say. So part of me thinks it's a subconscious thing too. Like if I don't pronounce right, then like I can't get constructive criticism on what I wrote. So yeah, I don't know. Subconscious thing I need to work on later.
Like hiding a little bit?
Yeah, basically. Like, yeah, it's kind of like what Anovia was talking about earlier. Like, if I don't work on this part, I don't put myself out there and I stay singing like I got marbles in my mouth and I'm just like, I like don't pronounce the words that I wrote. It's a way that I'm kind of like sheltering myself from the world. I don't know. Because I know like I'm not gonna lie, like I have confidence when it comes to singing. Like I like my voice for the most part, but I always get insecure about my lyrics. So I'm like, I got a pretty voice, but like I want to make sure that like I get insecure about my song, like the material in it, and so I think that I overcompensate because I'm insecure about what I have to say.
Are you an Aquarius?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I feel so seen right now.
I'm an Aquarius. I'm like, was she talking? There's like a mirror going on here. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
February 4th.
February 4th. Mine's January 22nd. February Aquarians are my favorite. That's awesome. Damn.
Sorry, guys. I have to take it there, of course.
Do you see the background? Like, I love the stars. So love astrology.
Lisa, you cut out again.
We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. I just said if anyone wants to share anything. Otherwise, I can read some of my own or share another video, but I don't think the video will work out. If you guys are going to hear it, I don't want to waste your time.
I want to share what
Ezra, we still can't hear you.
Um,
I can hear you. Well,
do you have headphones that have a microphone?
yeah.
Yeah? Okay, that's probably going to work out. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Oh, so much better.
Like,
Crisp and clear.
thanks. I just wanted to share what I wrote right now when you were asking us to write down stuff. Because I don't know, it makes sense in my head and it feels kind of like a release. Even like I didn't like try to like write it in like a specific format. It was literally just what you asked. But it just made me feel like it was like a release. And this is about my dad coming home after being gone for 2.5 weeks. And we don't have the best relationship, so yeah. So it was, the house is silent, there is no smell. The house is dark, feeling anxious, feeling dread. It feels like stabbing an open wound that was drying. I feel hopeful as I know that I can handle it, but it still feels scary. I feel tired. That was it. It's more like it feels like releasing.
I'm really glad that like you utilize the steps. Like I'm glad that you came up with like a foundation for how you were feeling. And I'm sorry that you're feeling that way, but I also see like, because I'm your friend, like I see such tremendous growth, and your ability to write it down and share is like so brave, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I have something. It's not a poem or like written in a particular format. I was really upset about some things, so I had got out the shower and I was like, let me just. And it's in my phone too, so it's really. But I'm just gonna share the first part of it if that's okay with
Oh yeah,
everyone.
please do.
Okay, let me see. And I'm kind of vulgar. I curse a lot, so I just want to have that be put on.
It's okay. It's already happened.
Okay. So here it is. Of course, I give a fuck about a humble beginning. I didn't grow up in church, but I know I be sinning. I'm on my knees. I pray at night, but by day I chase my nightmares away. I can never let a bitch think that she can feed me to the snakes. Watch me take out my flute. All this meditation, it taught me a thing or two. Let me charm you. Enchanting as the last breath before climax. Bet you never had a female, a woman, the goddess tell you that she busted. Homo? Maybe. What does it say? Nigga, you left behind in 2009. Obama was slick, but surely only led the blind. My soul, it don't want to be wiped clean. I ain't afraid of my judgment. I never fucked up on somebody's husband, at least without knowing. So that's just a little bit. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
I mean, it wasn't really concrete in anything, but it was me inflating my importance at the moment because I just felt like someone was insulting my intelligence, right? So, okay.
Yeah, you're taking up space and saying like, this is me, this is who I am. In case you didn't know, like, I love that. Does anyone else want to share anything? I love listening.
I wanted to share my poem about the prompt that you brought up in the beginning too.
Nice.
Also, Anovia, that was hella dope. I love that. Also, Ezra, I liked your poem too, especially the way that you wrote it with like just saying how you felt. Okay, so we were supposed to talk about like, okay, I already can't breathe. So we were supposed to talk about like something that happened in the past that was kind of hard to like, what's the word did you say? Like not comprehend.
Oh, I feel you, like process.
Process, a hard thing to process. So in 2018
Take as
I
much
went
time as you need. Like if you need to just breathe for a minute, that's cool. You saw me do it.
Yeah. So in 2018 I went through like a really terrible relationship that really like left me feeling like unable to like trust people and like trust myself and stuff like that. It was short, but still like no matter how short it was, it really like fucked me up a little bit. So this is about a memory that I really remember, which was when my partner at the time moved houses, and I helped him move in. But during that era of time, he was really like unresponsive and angry at me for no reason. And so there is like content warning about like sex, but it's not like really explicit or anything. So here it is. It is cold and I am small and I don't want to be here. I'm wearing shorts and you are mad and I want to call somebody. The window's small and way too high. I want to crawl out of it. And the room is empty. You just moved in and there's no space for me. You're still upset. It's fucking cold and you're not even talking. I said it's cold. You're quiet still, but still you want to use me. I miss my friend. I don't know you. Why do you want to touch me? And so you come and I'm alone and I'll remember that forever. And that's the poem. It's something that my little note on it is like a memory I haven't revisited in a while, but sometimes I think about it and I'm over it now, and it still kind of like brings me anger when I think about it. But I'm in a relationship now at the moment where I've like grown so much, and like I just feel like I'm in like a safe place where I've been able to like process those emotions and memories and like turn sex into like something that is like happy and like something that you do to like what is it, like connect with somebody. And so that's it. Thank you for listening.
I loved that. The line that really got me was, and there's no space for me, because the room is really empty, but you're like emotionally unavailable and I don't even know why I'm here right now. Ugh. Snaps. Like snaps to the currency right now.
Even Ezra did a really good job at putting me in like a space. Not negative, right? I'm not triggered, but like I was just like, that was emotional. That was very impactful in a very small cluster of words.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if because I know Anovia, you joined a little late, so I don't know, did you get a chance to like hear like the steps, I guess, or like about setting the scene and like building a foundation and like imagery?
I saw your notes, but I was driving. I was trying to get to a spot where I could like not be accused of breaking into people's houses or something.
What I was gonna say is like after the workshop, I can have someone post this like little note thing, because like I didn't know how I was gonna do this, like how I was gonna try to teach this, but I feel like that was like a solid thing because like Ezra and Coda were able to like use it and like write like something great with it, and that makes me feel confident and like validated that it was useful information. So I'll put it in like a Google Doc or something because it's just my messy chicken scratch. um I'm really glad that you guys like use that as a structure. That makes me happy.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, of course. Poppy, Favor, Alicia, did you guys want to share? Did you guys use the structure at all?
Poppy, yeah. I didn't because I'm focused on hosting, but I did write some things down. I'll share a little bit. So it's actually a little bit difficult for me to communicate how I feel about things, even now, because I grew up in a kind of not a quiet environment, but like a very controlled environment, if that makes sense. So if you feel mad, if you feel sad, it's sort of like there has to be a reason. So and yeah, that's why it's kind of hard for me to express things because I'm very sensitive to like what other people feel. I always feel like I'm walking on eggshells, like constantly. So I'm not gonna read anything I wrote today, but I will share that. And I mostly express myself, my emotions, and my like my identity and the things I value through imagery and artwork. And I'm very much an artist. So I guess I can share a piece that I did. And it's kind of all incomprehensible, and it uses a lot of symbols that I know that I don't like share as much with others. Because I also grew up overseas. So I'm like a hidden expat, I guess, because I grew up in Thailand. So it's like I'm culturally Thai. So yeah, it's just things like works of art. They're very, very swirly. They usually depict some sort of creature, but there's a lot of meaning in them. Like the lines have meaning, even shapes have meaning. Different characters have meaning.
I can't really
you-
see it.
Are you able to spotlight your video, Poppy?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I really want to see. I can't really see.
Okay. So let me see if it'll. You see it?
Oh yeah, I could see it better now.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a creature. Let me see if I can find one that's a little bit more expressive.
Very ethereal.
Yeah. I'm kind of in an ethereal headspace a lot of the time.
I just want to say, Poppy is one of my favorite artists in the whole world.
Oh,
Your work is so great.
thank you, Coda. That means a lot. I love your work so much too. So that means so much. Let me find it. Sorry, I have a lot of sketches, so it's.
No worries.
Well, actually, maybe this is for like a different workshop. Maybe that one's easier to see.
Yeah.
So, like, this is kind of a self-portrait. How I see myself, and I kind of project my identity through different forms. This is one of them. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. What did you use? What did you use for it?
So I just used a Sharpie and a highlighter and markers and colored pencil.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
You're like the little like forest nymph. You're so mystical. That's amazing.
Yeah. I am too. Thank you, guys.
Well, it is 2:32. I know that this is, we're supposed to be wrapping up, but I just wanted to say that this was such an enriching experience, and I feel honored to have been able to facilitate this workshop because I have shied away from stepping into like a leadership position, but I love to guide people, and I love to like offer perspective and to like open up and hold space for people. And I appreciate Chai for being the middleman and helping people do that with their art forms. I've participated in like numerous of these workshops, and each and every single one of them, I take away something new from it, and not just like how to do something new, but like I feel like I get them better, like as people. And I like that because I feel like I follow everyone on Instagram, but like now I get to see like, who you are as a person, which is really cool. Because we're in a pandemic, so I feel alone a lot. But this was great, and I had such an amazing time with all of you, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for teaching us today. I got a lot out of this workshop, and from observing, I think we all did. You definitely create such a beautiful, safe space. So thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and end this workshop right now, if that's all right with everybody. Does anybody have any last things they want to say?
I wanted to say thank you so much, Lisa, for the safe space and for everybody for contributing or just like saying something, because like I liked what you said about like getting to know people better. I love how everybody is like so unique, and it just it's like my favorite thing that like everybody is so unique, and like getting to like hear these things about like these personal intimate things about you is like so cool. That's I'm so bad at words. It's just really cool. That's it. Thank you guys.
No, you're good at words, Rhoda. You're good at that.
I did want to share, we did have kits that were left over. So those bags, we'll have them at All Too Rare available for pickup. So we have windows of time for people to come and pick up Lisa's kits, which include a journal and a pen. And so there's 10 of them, and Tuesdays, Thursdays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. And yes, Loteria is a part of our craft boxes. So that's where they'll be available for pickup. Yeah, they include a Loteria game. Angie's, like so many different artists contributed to this, including coloring pages, activities. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, thanks everyone for making this space so empowering, safe, and like I feel warm and heard. And I look forward to doing one in the future with you, Lisa. So that's really exciting.
Yes, I hope that this
Validated.
Alrighty, thank you so much, everybody. You can find Lisa on Instagram.
Oh yeah. If anyone wants to plug themselves, do so now. Like if you have anything going on, like a music project or like podcast, your Instagram, whatever you got working on, like feel free to do so.
I'm gonna put my Instagram in the chat. And you can find, if you want to follow Chai or Chai artists, you can find them on our Chai page. So I believe we tag our artists in our Instagram posts of the workshops, right, Alicia? If not, I'll add like a comment.
Cool. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
See ya.